Star Trek is owned by CBS Studios, Inc. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor, and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it we go nowhere. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. These are the voyages of the U.S.S. Pegasus.
Science Officer's Log Supplemental. We discovered some pre-evolved cavemen with primitive tools. We subdued them and discovered that they were the scientists of the research base, studying a plant with DNA-altering properties. Whilst looking for a cure for Irumodic syndrome, a degenerative neurological disease, the scientists appeared to have been affected by this plant in combination with the ion storm outside. After analyzing the data logs, I discovered that the issues of the facility started to show 6 months ago. A scientist went mad and damaged the long-range communication. As the situation worsened, they sent out the short-range distress message, hoping someone would hear. End of Science Officer's Log Supplemental.
Interesting. So someone destroyed the long-range communications.
I guess that's why nobody else had heard their distress call for... You said it was 6 months?
Yeah, that's when the issues started.
Huh.
So the team's been on the planet for about 7 years. And, some of them have left the world and come back. And they only get resupplied about once a year. And have had some contact with Starfleet, mostly just through sending reports.
So nobody's been by here close enough to receive the short-range signal until we came along.
Pretty much, yeah.
The commander puts down his data pad. 6 months. When were they due to get resupplied?
So it looks like they had just been resupplied right before things went wrong, about a month before.
Okay. So is there any way to repair long-range communications?
I'm sure they tried. I mean, they had 6 months to try and repair it. I'd be surprised if they didn't have an engineer.
Given the state that we encountered them in.
Yes, I don't think they had 6 months.
I don't think they...
At least.
Yeah, that's true.
Councillor, how long do you think it would have taken them to decline into the thing?
I really have no way of knowing. Unless there's records. Aura, did you see any kind of record of how long it took the first person to go from showing symptoms to fully affected?
So the issues started 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can find out how long the distress signal has been going on for.
All I can really tell for sure is that not everybody was affected at the same time, whether that's because certain individuals were exposed to whatever caused this before others, or if it had different incubation times in different people. I would really need to look into it further. But with what we've got, it's quite difficult to say.
I have access to all of the files, but we do know it's a degenerative disease, meaning that to go full caveman may have taken several months, but their loss of mental reason could have happened sooner. We know, though, that some of them did human tests on other members, right? So it couldn't have all happened at the same time.
No, if you're thinking that the first people affected would have been the subjects of human trials, that would make sense. But then how did everybody else become affected after that?
Yeah, I don't think we have enough information.
No, it doesn't seem like we do.
You could try... Is there a body in the medical lab?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There was one tied down to one of the beds.
We could try inspecting that and take a blood sample or something and analyze it.
We could take a sample without the medbay fully operational and not having access to one on a ship. It would be difficult for me to analyze or really find anything out that way.
Does your med scanner not do that?
It won't tell me more complicated information. I can get some basics. It's for field use, not for use in a hospital.
We've got minimal power, don't we?
Yeah, we do have some power. Well,
we could try.
It's possible they already ran the tests and they have some of that data in the med lab.
Well, we can certainly head back and look. Was there anywhere else that people had wanted to investigate first, though?
What else was worth? We've investigated the med bay, the science and engineering, and the command center.
There was living quarters.
We haven't checked out the living quarters.
No. And I don't remember if there was anything else.
So is there any way to get long-range sensors up and running or not?
I'll have to take a look at them, but I'm not an engineer. I'm a computer... I'm a science officer, so...
Okay.
Engineering is not really my specialty, but I can give it a shot.
Maybe I can have a look. I've had a little bit of experience, mainly with ship sensors and communications, but...
All right. Would you like me to head back to the medbay and investigate things there while you do that, Commander?
Sure.
All right, then I will go see if I can find anything else out. Kelle's heading back to the med bay.
The commander is going to see if they can determine if the long-range sensors can be, or long-range communications can be repaired.
So there will be a fitness roll at some point for fatigue, since there has been no rest.
All right.
And looking at the base somatics, you see that the long-range communications is on the outside, about 300 meters from the base.
Oh. Okay. Looks like I'm going to have to go outside.
Do you want me to come with you? Or otherwise I'll check out the living quarters.
Yeah, you can go check out the living quarters. I'll head over to the...
Once again, we have split the party.
It makes sense.
All right, so the commander is heading out. Outside.
I guess then I'm just investigating the body of whoever we assume was affected by this first to see if I can find out anything I didn't.
Give me an odds or evens roll. Choose which one you want.
I want even. What am I rolling?
And whatever die you want. Just
Okay.
we're only looking at odds or evens.
I got even.
You think it's going to take a while. It's not got full power, but you think one of the diagnostic beds might be functional enough.
Okay, then I will be using that. In which case, I think... I don't know if everyone's already left yet. I would need to get them in the diagnostic bed, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
He's on like a gurney sort of thing with wheels, like a hospital thing, but he's not on the...
in that case, I think Kelle's just gonna head back to see if anyone else is still around to get help to move him. Has everybody else already left, or is anybody still around?
Aura's going to be in the sleeping chamber area, so you could probably find him. But yeah, did we want to see what I find there first?
Sure. We can switch for now.
So Aura goes into the residence chamber area where they live, and he's looking for any signs that, like, there was a struggle, there was like a journal, any more information that he can get.
Be reason, I guess, because there's not a lot of searching is not specifically under something. So, oh, a 1, good roll.
Yeah, nice.
Hooray! So, I believe 3 success.
It relates to a focus?
A 1.
He rolled
right?
a 1.
Oh, yes, 1. I forgot. Lieutenant Thatcher, did you find anything?
Yeah. There's some journals here. Just some more information about what was going on. Did you, do the thing?
Well, I hesitate to ask, considering you were recently injured, but would you be able to help me move a body?
Yes?
Excellent. I need to move the, what we think was the first person who was affected. I need to move them to a diagnostic bed in order to do a more thorough check.
Okay. I can help with that. Yeah, just let me finish up here, and you see we're grabbing a bunch of papers.
All right. Have you read any of them so far?
Just a little bit. So there's a bit of information. So they talk about earlier on there were some positive results from the plants, and that they could like repair DNA. So they were, they're
yes.
really excited about like babies with deformities and stuff.
Yes, I saw some of that in the medical records.
Yeah, it does say that they were talking about how it might reset the DNA, which
Interesting.
might explain maybe it reset it too much.
Ah.
Yeah, There also seems to
Perhaps.
be a connection between the plants and the ion storm, or the high levels of ion energy on the planet.
Yes, the medical records also said they noted an odd interaction between the plants and ion energy. It didn't really specify, though. Did the journals say anything more?
It hasn't specified.
Ah,
Although there's no doubt that the cavemen are the scientists. There's
yes.
a photo of them, and yeah, it's them.
That is unfortunate, but not unexpected at this stage.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
All right. Are you able to
Yes,
help me?
yes.
Thank you.
I'll come with you.
All right. Kelle will head back to medical and point
Ours.
Aura to where they need to move the caveman to.
So Aura will grab one side of the body,
Yeah.
the feet.
Okay. Then Kelle will grab the shoulders.
Do we have to
And
roll and see if we drop them?
No. Not unless you want to, but you
no,
don't need to.
I think we're fine. All right. Adam wants it to go wrong. No? All right, if we can just get him to this diagnostic bed, I think it may take longer than usual because of the low amount of power, but I may be able to learn something.
All right. Do you have enough power right now, do you think?
I mean, is there any way to get more?
I can see if I can get some. I mean, I can maybe divert some of the power from the other places to the
I
med
don't
bay.
know if it would be ideal, considering I imagine whatever the commander's doing right now requires power, and this is a little less important than trying to send out a signal.
All right. Well, I'll just watch and make sure the body doesn't come back to life or something. You
That
know how
would...
bodies are.
No, I haven't seen that happen before. Is this something you've experienced?
Only once, but it was meant more as a joke.
Ah, I see.
Anyway,
Well,
I'll hang
it'll...
around just in case.
Okay, it'll take some time for the diagnostics to run, so if you want to do any more investigating in those journals, there's plenty of time.
All right. And I'll keep reading through the journals. Also,
All right.
we got one momentum.
Oh, nice. All right. Now is it a reason and medical roll?
Yes.
And it's 3d20 because of equipment?
Yes.
Okay. Huh. Well, 2 success.
And what are you looking for specifically?
Just any more information that I did not get from inspecting the cavemen we fought outside. Wait, 2 people were asleep, so 1 person hasn't been awake for 2 days? What? Oh, the rest of us, yes.
There was
2 of us were awake.
Yeah, 2 were awake and 2 were in the bunks.
Yeah, Aura was asleep till the distress call.
So Aura hasn't been awake for 2 days.
Aura might be less tired.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Yeah,
probably
that's
a good thing at this point, considering he is injured, so at least he's not exhausted on top of that.
Going outside, you've noticed the wind has picked up a fair bit. It is not hurricane level or anything like that, but it is strong. There is a definite increase from where you were before. It's pushing on you. It's really going through the trees, and you can see through the dim light about 300 meters away there is what you think is a long-range communication dish.
The commander will take his time, given he's still got a raging migraine going on, and try and choose the most direct path at least.
Yep, it is pretty open, like straight from the facility to it.
Yep. Just out of precaution, he'll have his phaser drawn.
Nothing seems to be around you. Like, you don't see any more of the cavemen.
Yep. It's more of a precautionary thing. Yep, so he'll head over slowly.
And you get there.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Alright, tell me what's wrong with you.
So going inside, it's not a big room, but you can see when you go in that 2 of the panels have suffered blunt force damage.
Oh, like the electronic panels.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to bypass that?
You're not sure. Not without a roll.
Okay, I'm rolling. What's that?
Control and engineering.
Control engineering. Okay. So 14's the target. Oh my god, a 20 and a 5. What the hell?
So you think they haven't repaired it because they didn't have parts. And then possibly, if it was bypassable, then they may have been losing cognitive ability. So the longer their issues were going on, the worse trained and then reasoned they would have been.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have a 20, which is what?
A complication.
Yeah. What's your complication?
Oh no.
In crawling underneath the communications panel, I've managed to rip off one of the panels, but in doing so, I have hit my head
Oh no.
on
Again.
the top of the underneath the communications panels. Oh my god!
Your head's just taking a beating.
Which may or may not give me an extra point of damage, or maybe
Yeah, I think it will, since that's where you went. It's a complication. There's got to be something for it.
Oh no.
And the commander's feeling quite nauseous at the moment. Excuse me. Security.
Yeah, it's sort of a catch-all.
1 success.
So you needed 2, but it's not a complete failure. So yeah, you're not feeling very good right now.
Mm-hmm. So now I've probably got like dizzy spells and feeling quite nauseous. And
Nobody's doing okay. Oh dear.
I guess in this sense, excuse me, after hitting his head, he's let out a little bit of a yelp, and
Oh no.
almost threw up. And he's just lying on the ground with his hand to his forehead at the moment. Everything's a bit of a blur.
Would it?
Hey.
Responding to God.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a good idea, though.
I know. Trek is sometimes about difficult choices.
Great.
What are you making her do?
No, she's not making you do anything. It's just a...
I was just given some information, is all. That's all.
Well, at this point, the commander is doing nothing.
Is doing nothing?
Well, he is probably not able to do much at the moment.
Oh, no. Huh. Okay. So I may know why some people were affected before others.
Oh yeah?
I'm not
What's that?
entirely sure. So this patient volunteered for clinical trials, trying this plant to help with his rheumatic syndrome, and the plants actually became more effective with ion energy at normal levels. But there was some sort of a spike recorded. It may have been a smaller ion storm, and that's kind of what set everything off. There was more ion energy. It made the process they were working on with the plants more effective, but it also made it uncontrollable. And there's another thing, but I don't really like it very much. If we can't get off this planet soon, we may want to look into using the plant ourselves, as it would be effective for things like concussions.
I mean, we're gonna have, like, bigger issues than concussions if we don't get off this planet soon. And I don't want to turn into one of those things.
Well, you are not currently concussed, to the best of my knowledge.
I mean, yeah, but
And there is somebody who is.
there's no way it's worth the risk.
Now? No. But if things get worse, I don't really want to try it, but we're running out of medical supplies. I don't know. Well, there's nothing else I can find out here at the moment anyway. How are you doing with your journals?
I haven't really made much more headway. There's a lot of just personal information about the people.
Should we go see how the commander's doing then? With the communications?
Sure.
I guess we shall go.
And heading outside, you notice the same thing. The wind has picked up a lot. It's not hurricane levels. It's not pushing trees over, but it's a strong breeze. You know the storm is coming. There's the faint, every now and again you feel like you can see through the dim light where the long-range communication building is. It's not very big. It's like it's not a hut, but it's like a single room sort of thing. And the outside door's open.
Well, should we go get out of the rain?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, Kelle's heading in.
And you go in, and the commander is unconscious on the floor.
Oh no.
He's ripped off panels. There is a bruise and a cut on his forehead. It looks like he has banged his head on something.
Oh no, he hit his head again. Okay, Kelle's gonna examine him.
Aura is going to pull out his phaser and start kind of trying to secure the area.
And you don't see any. You don't see anything. Like
Okay.
there's nothing. Well, you see the trees, you see the clearing, but there's nothing. Like you don't see any of the cave people.
Okay.
Wait.
And not inside the building either.
Yeah.
Did we decide that if it met the value, it was a success?
Yes, we did.
Then I have 3 successes. I guess I'm trying to see why he's unconscious and what I can do about it. I feel like I jinxed it. Okay. Well, his concussion is worse. Do I think I'm gonna... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Aura is still walking around outside, so he can't hear you.
Do I think I'm gonna be able to do anything about this? Oh no, why would he? Do you mean... Alright. Oh, goodness.
So I'm assuming I'm unconscious at this stage.
Apparently you are.
Mm-hmm.
Kelle hasn't really seen where Aura went, so... Aura? Alright, well, Kelle doesn't know where Aura went, so she's calling because she assumes he's not out of hearing range at this point.
Yeah. He secures the area and comes back in.
I need your help again to move somebody.
Is he that bad off? What happened?
He appears to have hit his head again. Yeah, it's not good. I would really like to get him into a bed in the living quarters maybe so he can rest, but this is bad.
Alright, let's carry him. It's just his head, right? It's not like his back or anything, so we can move him fine, right?
Yes, it is a problem with hitting the head again. Pretty sure yesterday I specifically told him to stop doing, but anyway.
In fairness, the crash didn't help.
He woke up and said in
I'm now just imagining this animated. We're just talking over his body and he lanes up. Okay.
Alright, well, Kelle's gonna... Yeah?
Alright,
I
you want
guess
the head or the feet?
I'll grab near his head.
Alright.
Okay, you can get him back. Like it's hard work because I mean he's a dead weight at the moment, but you can get him back.
And one of us has cracked ribs and the other one has unknown injuries. Okay. I am going to do what I can with the drugs that I've got. But really, he needs to have proper medical care on a starship and not on a planet with a field medical kit. This is not what he needs. Okay. And Kelle's just gonna pull out her medical kit and do what she can. Okay. Alright, so I can wake him up and he'll be able to function basically, not do anything too strenuous. But if I do that, there is a risk for some kind of complication with his health. Again, he really does need to rest. If we just let him rest, that'll be beneficial. Again, it's still not ideal. I'm really not sure what we should do in this scenario.
Well, let's let him rest for now. You should get some rest too. You've been awake for a long time.
I need to get back to the shuttle to check on Lieutenant Book.
I don't think you should do that tonight.
I don't really want to leave her for this amount of time.
I don't think you can go back on your own, or even the two of us, because then we're leaving our commander here.
You can stay and watch him. I can head back.
And what if you get attacked by those things?
I don't know.
You won't stand a chance. No. Whatever we do, we have to do it together.
That doesn't seem particularly fair to Lieutenant Book, who is all by herself.
That's true. But she has a replicator, and we've used our best medicine that we had on her already.
Her painkiller would have worn off by now.
Yeah. Well, she's a lieutenant. She can handle it for a little while.
I'm a lieutenant.
Longer.
By your logic, I can handle going back.
That's not the same. It's not a endurance of pain to get back. I mean, it might be, but there's other reasons why.
So what is your suggestion?
I say we stay here for the night. You get some sleep. I'll stay up for a bit longer. And keep watch.
And then?
I'll figure that out when we get to it, I guess.
All right, but I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither.
And I guess Kelle will sleep then.
Okay. There's like hospital beds essentially in here, so they're not the most comfy, but they're effective.
All right. Sleeping it is.
And Aura's gonna keep going through the journals. I imagine there are quite a few of them. Just learning about these people's lives and being kind of saddened by that. And if there's any more information. Yeah, so he just keeps reading through them. And all of their lives are very different, and yeah, he feels bad for all of them. But there isn't really any more helpful information at the moment. Well, he does actually learn that there are some samples of plants stored in an external structure a kilometer from the facility. He will stay awake for 6 to 7 hours and then make Kelle up.
Huh?
It's your shift.
All right. I thought I didn't stand a chance if anything happened, though.
Well, I mean, don't leave. If something happens, wake us up. But,
Get some sleep. You're not doing too well either. All right, so we're back to... Aura is going to sleep now, and
Yep.
Kelle is sitting up.
and Aura will say, just wake me up in about 4 hours.
You need more sleep than that.
You're probably right, but that's, I think, all we can afford at the moment.
Fine.
The medical officer says it's okay.
In an emergency.
And Aura will go to sleep.
This is not condoning that 4 hours of sleep is sufficient. All right, yeah, unless anything in particular happens, then Kelle will wake him up 4 hours later.
The only thing you will notice...
Ah. Aura?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
been 4
assuming.
hours.
All right. Anything happen?
It's raining. And there's been some thunder every once in a while. Nothing else.
Okay. Well, let's check on our commander and see if they're good.
I am going to do so. And Kelle's gonna go take a look at the commander. Is this the same as the last roll, or do I do another one?
Well, he wouldn't have improved greatly in that time.
No.
He hasn't worsened, but yeah, you know though that this situation too is one that is going to at this point now needs actual like as I said, you can make him functioning, but you know that he really needs to be getting proper medical care at this point. But you're stuck on a facility that can't do it, so you've got to do you're more now having to decide, what do you do with it? Do you leave him here? Do you go back to the shuttle? How are you going to handle this situation? At this point, your story has moved more away from what has happened to the scientists and more, what are you doing with your injured patients?
Yes.
In
This
a situation that is
medical
deteriorating.
Drama.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Yeah. In a situation that is you're guaranteed is going to deteriorate.
All right, so there really aren't any good options here. If we want him awake, that's still not going to be good for him. If we leave him to sleep, he won't get any worse, but he's still not going to get any better until we can get him off this planet. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do that at this point, and I still want to go back to the shuttle to check on Lieutenant Book. Right now, for the commander, I'm going to say our only options are to let him sleep until we can leave, if we can figure out a way to do that. Or we could try highly experimental plants as treatment that apparently turn people into cavemen.
Yeah, I don't even think that's an option, to be honest with you.
It is an option. It's actually the only thing right now that's got any chance of improving his condition rather than simply leaving it stable as is.
What makes you think it would work?
They did research, and it's effective in treating concussions.
Okay, but don't concussions usually get better on their own?
They don't when you keep making them worse.
This is not Jinwei.
Are you sure?
I think.
You think? Look, originally he hit his head in the crash. That was bad. But he was stable and it was manageable and we would have been fine until we could get off the planet. What he's done now is something entirely different, and if we even wake him up, it's gonna get worse. Leaving him asleep will keep us at this baseline of bad, but not get any worse.
Well, I mean, it all depends on whether the Federation can reach us in time. I think it doesn't matter too much what we do, because once the ion storm hits, it doesn't matter anyway, right?
I mean, personally, I would find it much easier to get everybody off this planet if they were conscious. But also, we are now split into two different locations with no way of either bringing the commander back to the shuttle or the lieutenant here.
Right. Maybe we can... I wonder if there's anything we can use here, like any form of transport, planetary transport or something. I don't know.
I mean, this facility is quite small. I don't recall seeing anything. Do you?
No. But if... Well, actually, if there is a building where they store samples 1 kilometer away, they probably... I mean, I guess they could walk that every time, but it makes sense that they would have a vehicle of some sort to make that trip easier.
All right.
We can have a look around and see if we can find something like that.
Do you want to spend 2 momentum and have a little quad?
I mean, we're at 5, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, so we'll spend 2 momentum, and we find a small vehicle that, in a pinch, can be used, hopefully, to transport someone.
Now, you can't get it all the way back to your shuttle because of the ravine.
Right.
But you could certainly use it up to the ravine, or close to the hill. Maybe not the hill, because it was a sort of more like a mountain trail. But you could certainly use it to the mountain and from the mountain back.
What do you think?
Well, I think we should check out the sample place, even if we're not going to use it. I think having a sample of the plant and seeing that kind of research is important. Yeah. What do you think?
I would prefer to remain with either one of the now unconscious people, but if you want to go, that is fair.
All right. Yeah, I should probably do that. If I don't come back in a couple hours, come get me.
Interesting instructions. I would recommend that you go quickly and be careful and return as soon as possible.
That's the plan.
Please stick to it.
I will try my best. And I'm going to... do I know where the plants are held? The samples?
You knew the direction, and you're assuming it's not camouflage. It's a research facility.
Right. Okay. And the quad has gas or whatever it runs on.
Yeah, recharge electrical, and it's been charged.
Probably not gasoline.
Yeah, I realized that after I said it. Okay. So, Aura's going to hop on that and drive in the direction of where the samples are held.
Yep, and soon you can see, it looks like it's another prefab building. It looks about the size of what the med bay is. It looks like one prefab such structure that's been put down. And it has an airlock feature that looks like it's designed to be like biochemical in nature, biohazard.
And does it look functional?
Yep, it does. I mean, it's on minimum power too, but it seems to be.
Yeah, like it's still sealed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to draw my phaser and go through the door.
Okay, slides open. You enter, and it definitely looks like a research sort of area. Monitors and chairs, and there's multiple contained areas that have samples in them.
And there's no... Are there any signs of people or cave people?
None at all.
Okay. I'll put my phaser away and have a look at some of the samples and see if they're labeled with, DNA altering plant here or whatever.
Okay, so give me a general research roll for what you're going to be doing in there, which is going to be
Okay.
control and science, or control and medical, depending on what side you're looking for. If you're trying to get journals and that from the computer, that's going to be science. If you're looking for the samples and that's going to be medicine.
Yeah, it would be science. 2 success.
Okay, yep. You think you find the medical files,
Okay. And
so you can download them. It's going to take a little bit, but you think you can download them.
Okay. I do that. And while they're downloading, I want to look at some of them and see if they tell me which plants I should look at for.
Okay, yeah. You can, if you're taking time to do it, you can learn that.
Okay.
Because they have all the samples here from what they were testing. So if you're looking for the specific ones that they felt were beneficial on that, then yeah, it'll take you a little bit of time, but you can work out which ones they're talking about.
Okay. So I find the plants, and do I notice anything about them? Like, what do they look like?
More spongy, bit more Venus flytrappy. They seem a little fleshy, but not flesh. They're not like some weird flesh, but they're not like trees and that sort of stuff. They're a mixture of mosses and then some of those sort of more flytrappy kind of plants. That sort of feel. And they look like they're reasonably large. Maybe 4 or 5 feet.
Okay. Does it look like I could carry one? And,
yeah, well,
like,
the samples that they've got, because they're really only dealing on DNA levels and that, they're in those round specimen containers. So they're not. They'd fit in the palm of your hand.
So I'll take, I'm going to say 3 of those with me, as well as the files that they had on the computers there. And can I make like just a general roll to see if there's anything else I notice? So 1 success, unless it's
1 success.
Sorry. What would it would be reason, science, or something?
Yep, depends what side you're looking for, like what sort of information.
Yeah, I'd be looking for science information.
It looks well organized. Like it seems this area doesn't seem touched by what's happened. It probably became unimportant as things happened. It does look like they tried hard from the journals to reverse and stop what was happening, but as it was affecting people, that it was Kelle's in exactly the same problem now, but not with that. The situation is deteriorating and will continue to deteriorate for her patients under these conditions, and the weather too. So it's not going to get better. So in that, they were sort of stuck in that same thing too, where they're trying to fix it, but you can tell they're racing against the clock, because the more qualified technicians that were slowly, I mean, in DNA terms, we're talking quite quick. Several months is still massively quick for this sort of change, but as it was affecting their consciousness and their focus and their concentration and all of that stuff, the situation was getting more and more out of control the longer it went on. And this looks untouched, so either they didn't, once things happened, it became unimportant. The cavemen didn't have any reason to come near it. They had no conscious thought about what this place might be. There's no food or anything in here. It seemed well organized. Like, it did seem a proper, well organized sort of facility, and it definitely seemed to be doing what it said it did. You've not found any information or any feel that it was anything other than what they've said it was. And it wasn't deliberate. It's been just a natural, not a disaster. I mean, it is a disaster for them, but I mean, it's not a natural disaster. But it has been a natural occurrence where things went wrong.
Right. It doesn't look like it was an intentional sabotage or something.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. So I'm going to take the samples and head back to the others.
And I assume we are still there. Unless anything drastic has happened.
No, just you can feel and Aura definitely felt that the storm, it's slowly building. The ion levels haven't increased dramatically, but the front end of the storm is definitely approaching. It's raining. The winds are higher. There's thunder. There's no lightning in that yet, but you can hear thunder in the distance.
Do Andorians have hair?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
white hair.
Yep, a lot of the time.
Right. Is it standing on end at all?
If it's from electricity and that, no. If it's from fear, maybe.
Is Aura afraid of storms? That's what you've got to ask yourself.
No, he's afraid of this one. But in general, no. As a science officer, it takes a very analytical approach to most things. But yeah. So Aura makes it back to the camp. And
you're wet.
Yeah. And kind of shakes himself off a bit and puts the samples on a nearby table and goes over to Kelle. Alright, I made it back.
I'm glad.
I got some samples of the plants.
Okay.
That way, when Starfleet does come to help us, hopefully, well, they probably can't do anything, but at least they can stop it from happening again, hopefully.
I'm thinking we should probably try and get back to the shuttle.
Yeah.
It's better if we're all there. There's a replicator there. I can check on Lieutenant Book. I just don't know how we're going to get the commander there.
Well, we could take him to where the ravine was on the quad.
And then?
Then we'd have to carry him.
In the storm?
Yep.
I imagine that would not be ideal for his condition. None of this is particularly ideal. I guess we'll have to.
Unless you have another idea.
Sadly, I do not. I wish I did.
Alright. Maybe we can make a stretcher or something.
We can take some of the blankets from the living quarters. There may be a stretcher in medical. I will go look for that. Kelle's gone to look for a stretcher.
There would be.
All right. Kelle will bring back a stretcher.
Good thing we thought of that. It would have felt kind of dumb.
All right, well, if you get some of the blankets or something, we can at least cover him a bit from the rain. They're not waterproof, but anything's better than nothing.
Would there be like a tarp or something?
I mean, it's a facility, I'd say so.
Yeah. So I in like the science lab, they have a tarp on the ground, like underneath a table or something. And I pull it out.
That's where they do all the murders.
And the commander laughs.
Oh, is that all it needed?
Yeah,
He's
just gotta make the commander
fine.
laugh.
The power of laughter has healed him.
So, yeah, so we put together the stretcher and tarp combo with the commander on top.
Well, no, he should be under the tarp.
Right, under the tarp, on top of the stretcher. And so, Kelle, I don't know how this is going to work on the quad. I guess we could.
Do we need to have... If you take him on the quad, I can walk, or you can... No, I wouldn't want him to... You to leave him there.
This is like that old logic puzzle with the wolf, I don't know, the three animals trying to cross a river.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Mm.
I can walk. If we won't all fit, then you should take the commander, and I will walk.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the commander, and then you'll bring the stretcher with you.
If it is something I can carry on my own, then yes, I will. Is it something I can carry on my own?
The stretcher?
Yep.
You can push it, like unless it's just if you just mean without him on it, you can carry
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Okay, then I can carry it. Yeah. Yes, I can bring the stretcher.
All right, then I'll meet you at the ravine in a couple minutes.
Okay.
And when you get there, and Aura will, Aura and Kelle will carry the commander to the quad on the stretcher, and then lift him off of it. Commander, are you conscious? Lightly tap his face. He's learned his lesson
Hey.
not to slap him.
Yeah, can you not? Please. 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 Nothing even approaching head trauma, please.
Okay. If he doesn't respond, then him and Kelle will try and lift him onto the quad. And Aura will sit there as well and drive off towards the ravine.
And Kelle will walk with a stretcher in the rain.
And wind.
And in the rain and wind. Does anybody need to roll for anything?
No, not for the initial. It's hard going. It's not the easiest because you know it's like the wind is picking up, the rain is heavy. Having to get there.
Mm.
But you reach the ravine without incident.
And Aura is there, the commander, kind of leaning against him, unconscious. He's got his arm over Aura, and he's trying to support his weight.
All right, let's hurry.
And we place him into the stretcher and carry him across the stone that we made before. Are the cave people still there?
No, they are not, except for the dead one.
I'm glad that one's still there. Although I suppose they might have moved him.
And we will carry him in the direction of the ship.
And you arrive, but it is been hard work to carry over the terrain and that. So you're definitely feeling fatigued.
Or can you please help me get the commander into the other bed, and then I'm going to check on Lieutenant Book.
All right. I help.
Okay.
And then I'm going to check on Lieutenant Book. And hope she didn't die while we were gone. Does she appear conscious?
She is not.
She is not. Okay, well,
Does she appear alive?
She is alive.
she is
Okay.
alive. Kelle's gonna do a medical check on her. Using a medical tricorder. Oh no!
Oh my god.
2 success, 1 complication.
You bang the tricorder against her head.
No, I do not.
She bangs the tricorder against his
the
head.
commander's head.
No, I do
4 times
not.
by accident.
No!
The batteries are loose. Bang, bang, bang.
Okay. Do I think she has a fever?
Yeah, you think she's starting to deteriorate.
Alright, I'm gonna quickly give her some antibiotics and anesthetic. Because I can't really do much else at the moment. And just basically try and keep her as stable as possible because I know I'm not going to be able to really improve her situation right now. But hopefully at least she can sleep a little better. Now, as for a complication, I'm trying to think. It is not going to be head trauma to anyone. But I am having difficulty thinking of what it can be.
And there is a loud bang as a rock of some description bounces off the top of the shuttle.
Perfect. Sarah,
Yeah.
I believe we may have been found by the scientist cavemen.
I'm sure it's just the storm.
That would be nice. However, I did not notice winds strong enough to be flinging rocks at the shuttle.
I'm sure it's just the storm.
Ah, I see. All right, well,
The
let's
door
hope
is
the storm
sealed,
doesn't know
right?
how to open doors.
And there is a weird tingle that you start feeling on your hairs, on your arm, and definitely Aura's antenna are starting to go like, what? And there's this weird light starts to form, and then you're not in the shuttle anymore. You're in a dim room, and your arms have this weird tingly numbness, and it's
We're
somewhat uncomfortable. And you look up, and you can see on the wall, and you realize you're in a ship. There is a great, big, glowing Klingon Empire symbol.
Oh. I don't know if this is good or not.
And the door opens, and 3 big, almost 7-foot Klingon warriors walk in, and they look at you. And that's where we'll end.
They might be friendly. They might be Tupperware salespeople.
Why would they be Tupperware salespeople?
Yeah, Klingon Tupperware. You will buy this,
Yeah.
or else, for the Empire.
For the Empire.
Why would they be Tupperware salesmen, Adam?
This Tupperware is invincible.
It never runs in the face of combat.
I didn't think regular Tupperware did that.
And it's microwave safe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, does it help prevent concussions? Is the real question.
I don't know. They start hitting him in the head with it. Does this hurt?
In fairness, it would have helped if the shuttle had some airbags.
They
You'll
don't,
have
do
to
they? Though
You'll have
that's
to
the thing.
suggest that to the captain if we ever meet him.
The Voyages of the U.S.S. Pegasus utilises the excellent official rules Star Trek Adventures released by Mephidius Games, featuring Emily as Lieutenant Kelle, Shadow as Lieutenant Aura, Raveninsane as Commander Hunt, and Ghost as the GM. Many of the sounds come from Sirenscape, an excellent app for bringing more life to your gaming table. You can find us at critfail.com.